October 2020, we made history at the Southmorton Boxing Club by staging the world's first behind-closed-doors white-collar boxing show. We got over 10,000 views on the night across 103 countries. Now we're bringing the live rumble back, bigger and better than before. Follow the fighters in the build-up and vote on the night for your favourites. See all the thrills, spills and skills from the best in white-collar boxing, live and free at the KO Cup.
Okay, Peter, so it was a great performance from Joshua on Saturday. You know, Pulev's a tough customer. You know, remember, not such a massively heavy puncher, though. You know, only those 12 stoppages, I think, in about 20 fights. But there were some question marks over the performance. I think even though it was good, he won every round. Let's remember that. And then the devastating knockout in the ninth was classic Joshua. The uppercuts were flowing all the way through the fight. But I think Teddy Atlas put it best for me. He said, you know, the ghosts of Ruiz are still living in Joshua's attic. And I think we saw that. You know, we saw in the third, I thought Pulev was gone. I didn't think he was going to be able to get back into the fight, but Joshua kind of did let him back in the fight. And we saw the increase in lateral movement that he used against Ruiz last time. The blueprint that he really put down in that Ruiz fight seems to be permanent Joshua now. You know, we know Rob McCracken is still head coach, but there have been a few other coaches brought in to add things to his game. And the lateral movement seems to be there a lot. You know, he did work well behind the jab. The uppercuts were coming in, but he did tend to clinch and close when Pulev got in close. Whenever he got caught, he tended to shut it down. So, you know, a lot of these, he seemed to operate between a few different styles, but I definitely think there was a bit of conservatism in his style. You know, he wasn't prepared to stand and trade in a shootout like he used to be. Obviously, we know what happened in the first Ruiz fight when he did that. So that seems to be totally off the cards for him now. So maybe that makes him not quite as exciting, but maybe it does make him more competent. But the question we've got to ask is, you know, we're leading into the Fury fight. And immediately that fight was out of the way, everybody was on it. You know, Bob Arum was tweeting, right, we're going to do this, we're going to get this made. Eddie Hearn was like, right, we're going to get this made. Even Frank Warren, you know, there's a lot of stuff to go on before it gets made between the networks. You know, with obviously Fury being on BT and ESPN, and Joshua being on DAZN and Sky. But you know, they can do it. It can be done. We just hope this doesn't turn into a Tyson Lewis and happen 6 years after it, or a Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao, which was interesting as well, to digress. But I never knew Floyd was going to turn up. So Floyd turned up at the fight, and you know, was all over Joshua and whispering in his ear. So there's something going on there as well, and Floyd can make things happen in boxing. So I think that he's on side as well. You know, the Fury fight looks more and more likely. And interestingly enough, another digression, wasn't it amazing to see the crowds back? I was surprised at how emotional I got about that. You know, watching people shouting in the stands again. You know, there were only 1,000. But it was a step in the right direction. So like I said, there's a few obstacles for the Fury fight, and one of them is going to be, because we're only 1,000 fans, the live gate situation, because the live gate in this is going to be huge. Don't forget, for Wilder Fury, the live gate was £12.3 million. So, you know, you're looking at much bigger than that for Fury Joshua. So it should be a stadium fight in the summer, and it should sell out Wembley. So, you know, there's a few things to talk about, but Eddie Hearn is saying that he reckons it can be made in 2 days. You know, which is fast even for Eddie. So, but you know, we're going to see about that, whether that comes to pass. But you know, I just hope we don't get sort of the carrot dangled again and it slips away. But there does seem to be real movement behind this. There does seem to be real direction behind it to get everything back on track, to get boxing back on track with an event of this magnitude. Because this will be the first time ever that all 4 belts are on the line, presuming the WBO don't enforce Usyk as their mandatory, in which case Joshua would probably vacate the WBO. But they're not going to want to miss out on this money, and they're not going to want to miss out on the prestige of, you know, being one of those 4 major belts. So this is for all the marbles between Fury and Joshua. So, you know, it's a cracking fight. It looks like it's going to happen. You know, I just can't wait to do an update next week, Peter, hopefully saying that, you know, we've got a date, we've got a venue, we've got all the things that we're actually missing. We've got loads of goodwill at the moment, and that's such an important thing to have in boxing. But we just need this nailed down now, and I just can't wait. It's going to be fantastic. 61 days to Rumble Live, 2 months. Come on, this is going to be so exciting. February the 13th, we're back. Bigger and better than before. It's going to be the most amazing show in white collar boxing again. Tune in, get involved. It's going to be mega.